conversation that's appeared quite regular on YouTube this season is compost, and more importantly, the quality issues. Name kept cropping up, which usually you don't associate with poor quality, and that was clover. Having used it the season before, I was overwhelmed with the quality, how good it was, but this season, when I picked up my supply, somewhat well right, there's bits in it and everything, and as I was watching YouTube, there's quite a few other videos coming up with the same story. So I decided to do something about it. Rather than go back to the store that I purchased from, I got directly in touch with Clover via email, explaining that I was disappointed and I was expecting better quality from them. Now, normally, you're lucky if you get a reply back, but I did better than that. I had a quick phone call and to let you know that the reps was in the area and if they could pay me a visit at home. I thought, yeah, of course. So here it goes, let you see what happens. Right guys, first of all, thanks very much for coming. I appreciate you dropping in. I didn't expect this. I was expecting just an answer to an email.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So you're obviously from Clover. For the purpose of the viewers, do you want to introduce yourself? Who are you?
You can start.
My name is Andrew Mather. I'm the National Sales Manager for Clover Peat products in the UK, and I've been with the firm 20 years.
Right.
My name is Sean Furlong. I'm in and out of Clover for quite a few years. I give Andrew quite a bit of a hand here, and I'm involved with sales.
You cover all the UK, do you, both of you? Could you?
Yeah, so Sean's really sort of the general manager, so you really have a more to do with the production side as well. So
you go everywhere, all over Ireland, England,
no,
Wales?
Don't do a lot in Ireland, mostly Scotland,
right.
UK,
Wales.
North Wales.
As I said earlier on, obviously I'm from YouTube and that's the way I got in touch with it. Quite a few people had issues. Surprisingly for me, I'd used Clover the previous year and I couldn't believe the quality of it, how good it was.
Mm-hmm.
I riddled, sieved, and there was hardly anything. This year I bought 9 bags from the same supplier. I opened it and I was rather say shocked. And as I went on YouTube, there's other people having similar issues, so I thought, well, rather than moan about it and do nothing, get in touch with it. And like I say, I was expecting an email, but surprisingly enough, I had a phone call and he says you're around the area, you're just going to pop in. So first of all, thanks very much. So going back to the original issue, what was the actual, when were you first made aware of it, this problem with the quality?
We were first made aware of it this spring, weren't we, really?
Early spring, probably February time maybe.
Really via our wholesalers and through some end users.
Yeah.
We were made aware of the problem. Listen, we're a family-run business. We have always prided ourselves on quality, and quality is an issue that we don't have any quality issues normally, but we identified that there had been a problem, and obviously we've held our hands up and apologised for that, and we've rectified that situation.
So how did you actually find that there was an issue with the thing, and what have you done to put it right?
Well, I say the issue really came to light, via feedback from our wholesalers and from end users. People like yourselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, from time to time you get odd complaints here and there, but we started to obviously see a growing number of complaints on the same issue. So
what actually was the issue? What was the problem?
The issue we had was, which is what you've had, was quite large lumps of peat on it, some little bits of wood and fibre bits. So we then had to go back and see, right, well, what's happened here? So we had a problem. Firstly, we had a problem with some of the screens, which were missing some of the stars. And then last year we'd taken quite a lot of stumps from the peat bogs, which are quite large.
Yeah.
When they're taken off with hydraulic machinery, you end up with an awful lot of little bits of whitewood.
Yeah.
And the first lift of peat was very dry, first harvest. We had no kind of damper peat to blend in with it, so quite a lot of that was packed up, and it was much coarser than what the Clover standard would be.
Yeah. Right.
Then it became aware to us through the wholesaler, through end users like yourself. So we had to dig back and look back and see what happened, realise what happened, and said, right, we need to ensure this is not going to happen again, and we need to have a look at their machinery our screening systems, our milling systems, to ensure
So
it doesn't
have
happen
you
again.
changed the machines or made any adjustments to it at all?
We've made adjustments to it. We've added in a new shredder, which would be normally used for shredding metal, and it's worked on knives,
Yeah.
spinning around, and so it goes through the hammer mill, from the screens to the hammer mill, through the shredder, and what's shredded then goes back over the system again.
Right.
And when you have the small little bits of fibre, which you don't really see, that adds the sponginess back to the product, and we are hoping, and we are satisfactory now that
So we're back on track to the
back on track.
I
We're
think-
satisfied that the product is back to where it should be
Yeah.
to maintain the Clover standard.
I think the biggest issue that people have, that people have been using our product like yourself for a
Yeah.
number of years, and obviously the quality was very consistent. I think people's main fear was that we'd changed the recipe in some way, and I actually had people saying, "You're putting green waste in, you're putting wood waste in." That is totally not the case. We're
Right.
still 100% peat products. It was just a quality issue on the
Quality
screening, but we're certainly, we can categorically say that we are certainly have not changed the recipe in any way, and there's certainly no green waste or wood waste or any other waste going in.
So I've heard all sorts of horror stories with other brands of compost
Yeah,
that
I
use
mean-
green waste. They've been analysed, and there's even poisons in some of them.
Yeah, people are adding green waste, and to be fair to everybody, 10, 20 years time,
Yeah.
the amount of green waste that we're going to have everywhere has to be used for it. It has to be used now. It's getting a balance with that green waste and getting the right product. And
But we certainly, have not changed the recipe, and have no plans to change it anywhere in the near future.
and also, we'll have somebody ring us and say we found a couple of little stones in the compost. Now, peat covers everything when it's wet, and you can't see all that.
It'll stick on it, yeah.
So when you're trying to blend green waste, how are you going to take the bits of plastic
Yeah.
out? That's
At the end of the day, the product is naturally occurring, and we have a lot of machinery in place to try and make that product consistent by screening and blending. But you're always going to have, you're never going to get 100% all the time, because it's a
all
naturally
this
occurring
on
product.
what I
It's
was
also a
made
natural product.
yeah. So I was made aware of it on the multi-purpose. Was there any other products affected?
The main product was the multi-purpose line, wasn't it?
Yeah. We had, there was a few other products that the coarseness creeped into as well, but
They were products that really you wouldn't notice that, because they're probably slightly coarser products anyway.
Yeah.
It's just that the multi-purpose would be our flagship product,
Yeah.
which a lot of you guys, the end users, use year in, year out. And obviously when there was that change, there was the great cry went out, and like I say, we've addressed it, and we've tried to address things
we'll
personally.
continue to address it.
Yeah, I mean,
As much personally as we can, not just
Yeah.
with an
the-
open-ended blank email.
That's why I was a bit surprised when you made the call and said you wouldn't mind popping in, because quite often I've complained about various things, and you're lucky if you get an email reply. To actually get company representatives to come and address it face to face, it's a
well, it's because
really.
we're still a family-run business. We're not a corporate giant, and we
Yeah,
believe
We're old school.
we're old school. We believe we sell on the quality of our product, and we stand by our products. And when you have a problem, you have to stand by your product. And
Yeah.
listen, when you have a problem, you hold your hands up and you say, "We've had a problem," and you try your best to put it right. And people appreciate that. If you're on the phone to somebody, or you write somebody a letter these days, it is old school, and it's the way that we do things. Now, some people like that, some people don't, but it's the way we will continue to deal with it.
I was looking on the website, and I was surprised to see the actual range of products you do. I associated Clover with the multi-purpose that I use. Now, I was briefly aware of a bit of professional, but you do quite a range of stuff.
Quite a range of professional products, obviously for commercial growers.
Yeah.
Most of those products would be, for those that don't know, would be a lot more crop specific, or for specific stages of growth, so seeding compost, potting compost. Then you would have specialist mixes for prims and pansies, for poinsettias, for herbaceous mixes. So they're a lot more bespoke. They're made on a slightly different production line. They're made on what we call a batch line, so they're made in smaller quantities than we would make multi-purpose. Multi-purpose is made on quite a high-speed form-fill production line.
Right.
So they're actually made at different factories, in fact. Our professional products and our retail products are made at distinctly two different locations.
Right.
But the constituent products that we use, i.e. the base fertiliser, we use the same base fertiliser in multi-purpose as we do in our professional products, because we don't cut corners on those products. There's no point. We know that certainly the base fertiliser is a very trusted RHP approved product, and it has a specific consistency that we like to use to our machinery, and we don't, just because the retail range is a more competitive market, we don't use a lesser product in those products, if you know what I mean.
That's good.
But yeah, we do a big range. I mean, we do, obviously, multi-purpose is our flagship product. It's probably the product everybody knows, but obviously on the retail range, we do some fairly specialist products. Even on the retail range, we do a range of good quality John Innes products, so the old-fashioned John Innes 1, 2, 3 and seed, which has got the soil in it. And then again, say on the professional side, we do sort of more crop-specific. We also do a range of barks, and we do graded peat, so you can buy bales of the raw material, so that's peat without the lime and without the base fertiliser. It's just the raw material in compressed bales, and that's in various grades as well. And some professional growers these days still do mix their own.
That's good to hear. So hopefully now, with this issue with the multi-purpose being put to bed, let's hope it doesn't, but if in the future something did happen, obviously you want feedback.
Absolutely.
The end user, do you mind coming direct to you or through the supplier? What's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Direct to us.
And that's available on your website, the contact details?
On the website, the contact details, and we'll do our best,
there.
obviously, to either call or return those. I mean, our contact details are on there, and we're available, pretty
24/7.
I mean, YouTube is got a massive gardening community. Is social media something you keep your eye on, just to see how they test the depth of the water like was?
Not really, but it's
we weren't really aware of it, to be honest, and now obviously we are, with yourself, and obviously I know Mark as well. So it's something that we've really got to.
Yeah, we need to. It's an old family-run business.
Yeah,
we're old school. We need to probably move a little bit ahead with the.
That's
with
good.
the new modern era, and it's something that maybe people like you can help us more with,
Oh, well, I'm happy to provide feedback. It's just that it has come as a bit of a shock to me.
We need feedback all the time, whether the feedback is good or bad.
It's the only way that we learn, and if more companies listen to their end users sometimes.
I think some of the bigger companies tend to tread on the end user, and that's where things go downhill.
Well, yeah, I mean, but not just this industry, but generally a lot of sort of larger corporate global companies will just do something, and it's because it's commercially more viable for them.
Yeah.
But we'll listen. At the end of the day, our product range was really created. I mean, when 20 years ago, all we used to produce was bale peat in 4 different sizes. And really our product range has been created a lot of the time by customers saying, oh, do you do this and do you do that? And we think, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And oh, do you do John Innes, and do you do a tomato bag, and can you make this product, and can you make that product? So a lot of the time our product range and our whole strategy is driven by the customers to a degree, because you react to the market and what the market wants. Because people say, well, why do you do a 75 litre bag and a 60 litre bag and a 50 litre bag and a 40 litre bag and a 100 litre bale of multi-purpose? Because we react to different sectors of the market, and some of the garden centres want to do multi-buys, so you produce a slightly smaller bag. A lot of the allotments, in fairness, prefer the old-fashioned 75s because it is the best value for money. A lot of companies aren't producing a 75 litre now because they've gone very much down the multiples and appeasing the supermarkets, and the supermarkets want a smaller bag that fits on the shelf, essentially. It's nothing to do with the customer wanting a 50 litre bag, it's because the supermarkets have demanded.
Yeah, well, what you have is European weight laws coming in as well, so I would probably say in 5 to 7 years, the 75 litre bag will be gone.
Yeah.
Commercially, you can lift any weight you like.
Yeah.
Retail.
Yeah.
Health and safety.
I mean, we brought the 60 litre in, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, was
A
it?
bit more.
We thought that would take away the 75 litre sales. Actually, it hasn't at all. Actually, it's grown the sales, so we still sell probably as many 75s as we ever did, and 60s as well. We also do a second product line, a Mother Earth brand, which is a 70 litre and a 50 litre. And again, you think, well, does that not just take your sales away from the 75s and the 60s? Well, no, it's almost a completely different marketplace.
One final question. It's a question probably most people don't know the answer to. What would you say as a rule of thumb is the shelf life on a bag of compost once it reaches the wholesaler?
6 to 9 months.
6 to 9 months.
Yeah, if it's kept stored correctly, kept dry. If obviously the shielding wrap, the spin wrap isn't broken to let the elements in. The biggest problem you have is with sunshine, which makes the bags go brittle and fades the inks. But if it's kept dry and stored correctly, 6 to 9 months.
Right. Thank you very much, chaps. I still can't believe you've turned up to the house to address my issue.
We'll go anywhere for a cup of coffee.
And,
absolutely, yeah.
So thank you very much. Nice to see you, Andrew, and you, Sean. Thank you so much. And hopefully that'll put a lot of minds to rest when this video goes out. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
No problem.
So there you have it, straight from the horse's mouth. I'm glad the way it turned out like it did, and it was a bit of a surprise actually. They caught me out. I was on the allotment when I had a phone call, and they said there was 10 minutes away at the local store where I'd actually bought my compost from. And there's no problem with coming to the house. I managed to get changed out of my gardening togs and quickly set a camera up. I'd have liked a bit more time to do that, but that's the way it was, and that's what we got. What you saw is what you get. But the main thing for me is the quality of the compost now has been assured to be back to normal the way we like it, so that's something to look forward to. And another thing, I couldn't believe the customer service like that. It's second to none. You won't get no better than that. I sent the email off expecting, if you get a return email these days, you're lucky, but to get representatives from the company to turn up, well, I still can't believe that they did it, but that's what you want, and that what makes them special. So that was another unique touch. The other final thing what come out of it, that wasn't quite aware of how powerful social media is, especially YouTube, and how massive the gardening community is. And the word spreads pretty fast on there when someone take going right. So I'm made well aware of it now. I did show them a few channels on YouTube, and I think from now on they'll be keeping a close eye on what's going on there as well. I'd just like to say at this time that this ain't a paid promotion at all for Clover. There's no monies or sponsorship or nothing now. It was just that I decided I've got to be in my bonnet, the quality, what I wanted, what I expected, so I thought I'm going to do something about it. Saying that, when we said our farewells on the drive, that Sean opened the boot of his car, he had got 3 bags of multi-purpose, which he gladly passed over to me and said it was a token gesture for the issues I'd had with the product before, and also for getting in touch and letting them know. So I welcomely took that, and that was it. What Sean also did say, if he was in the area again, usually visiting the store, and he got a new product on the market or something like that, he gave me a call and asked me if I'd like to have a look at it, and maybe in the future, if that happens, we can share our findings, and maybe that's another feather in our cap. So that's about it then. So the Clover compost is back to normal now. No need to panic. And he did say though, look on the website, there's contact details there. If you've got any issues, they're very, very approachable. So don't be shy to do that. That's about it then from me. So all put to bed now. Let's get on with what we like doing best, gardening. So see you later. Bye for now.